Hey there, everyone. My name's Andrew, and this is Canadian Starships Live. Welcome back to the live stream. We've got Ken here tonight. Say hi, Ken.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going for you tonight?
It's cold, but no snow yet.
No snow yet. Well, that's not too bad. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Oh, my good gravy. First thing off the bat, we've got... We've got DeForest Hobbies giving a $20 dashing. That's what we call it around here when somebody donates something because of Dash, who is prolific with all that. So welcome to the stream, and thank you for that. Who else do we have in the stream here tonight, Ken?
Well, we have Todd. He says first.
Welcome.
We have Trent. Says, hey, Andrew. Alec is here. We have Blair. Blair's here.
Welcome. It's blue. You'll see it's blue. That means it's got base coat. It's blue.
We have ST Co 21.
Welcome.
And who else we got here? We got Gordon. Gordon's here. Hobby Time.
Welcome.
And of course Howard, aka Dash.
Hey Dash, welcome to the stream.
And Jody's here.
Jody's here. Isn't Jody still streaming?
He just ended his.
Oh, short stream tonight then. Well, welcome.
And Keith is here too.
Hey Keith.
And Matthew Watson. He says hi, Northern Hemisphere.
Oh. Wait. It is Dash. It's Dash that dashed.
Yes.
I didn't realize that was Dash.
He's got several YouTube accounts.
Wow. Well, thank you, Dash. That is greatly appreciated. So how is everybody else doing tonight? What are you working on while you're watching me working on this thing? What are you guys working on tonight? That's what I'm curious about.
I called it quits for the day. I was doing all my masking on my nacelles for the Reliant.
Okay, how's that going?
Good. I've got all the masking on now. I just got to do the little bits of tape that cover up the little seams or anything like that.
Apparently, I left a tool on the bench while I was putting the base coat down.
That'll do it.
It is what it is. So if anybody's wondering, the base coat on this thing, it's really handy that I've been able to find a can paint that works for this. So it's the Rust-Oleum. I think it's actually the same thing that that Lou used on his for his base coat. But it's probably about the best color match for a spray can, because there's a lot of real estate on these things. They take a lot of paint. So airbrushing the base coat would be crazy. But this is the Rust-Oleum French Blue. It's not just a paint. It's a primer too. So there's a little bit of additional work that has to be looked at on this. If I turn the ship a little bit, you might be able to see a little bit of a white patch right here. There was a bit of additional putty work that had to be done. So we'll get that cleaned up tonight. The goal tonight is to go over it and try to make sure that it is ready for Aztecing, so that Aztecing can get started this coming week, which is, it's been a long road getting from there to here, but we're finally there. I don't know, this one's taken just a lot more time and effort in all the seam and putty work than this one did. So I don't know what was up with that, but it's just work that had to be done in order for it to be right. I'm still not quite happy with the pylon, the top of the pylons, but we're going to try and see if the blowaway covers, the blowaway hatches that still have to go on, cover the problem areas there. It's a bit of a give and take when it comes to just how precise everything has to be, because the Other thing that hides a ton of stuff is the Aztec paint scheme on this ship. Hides all kinds of stuff. So it's how long do you spend to get everything absolutely perfect when the paint is actually going to make it so you can't even see any of those things. So we'll see how that goes, because I would like to get the paint on this thing and start with that this week, because I have not had a video, like an edited long format video out since Wonderfest, and that's because this thing's just been taking so much time. Plus, it's been hard getting to it just because of everything going on in life. So I'd like to get this matching this and get a good deep dive video on the Aztecs paint scheme of this out to the world, so that they can see just really how that masking set for motion picture miniatures works on this big kit. So that's the goal. That's what we're working on. And I know Blair would like to have one of these sitting on his display case. So here we go, Blair, with another Blair coming in with a $50 dashing. So thank you, Blair. That is awesome. Yeah, Blair, that you should see the Aztecing coming along pretty quickly on this. Once we get to the Aztec, that goes down fairly quickly, especially if you've got the I don't know, the pressure of Wonderfest coming like I did on this one. So we'll see. We'll get the Aztecing on this week. I am also taking a week off of my day job coming up here soon, so that I can dedicate a week of work onto these projects, so that we can try to get them as close to being finished as possible, because I've got so many other projects as well that I want to get done and off the bench before we get to the next big project coming up on the bench. So I want to get these done, but I also don't want to get them out of here not looking the way that they need to look. So here we go. All right. So I've got my tea, Earl Grey hot.
Right on. Let's see what some people are saying here.
Good idea.
Let's go back here. So we had a lot of people saying hello. Jody asked, did you enter the wrong studio? Yeah, I entered Jody's really quick. I thought I'd catch the tail end of yours, Jody, just to see if you were still going to be carrying on streaming or not. And you had just finished, so I popped back out and came back here. Let's see. Some hellos and some highs. Keith says he's trying to create a thumbnail for an upcoming project, but might need to call in an expert for help. Todd saying, I sound much better. Well, thank you, Todd. You got to feel better when you're on Canadian Starships.
Yeah. I was so my wife was away for the week last week. So she's been back for this week, but she was away in Florida visiting her parents in they have a condo in Sarasota. And so she just took the week on her own to go spend a week with her parents. And that would be normally perfectly fine with the kids, because I do the bus drop off in the morning, getting them all ready. I do the bus pickup in the afternoon, and I'm doing a lot of those kid management things on a week-to-week basis anyway. So, but she left on the Monday. By Monday morning, by Monday afternoon, I was sick.
Oh no!
Sick, chest congestion, respiratory. Some sort of respiratory ailment, and it was terrible Monday and Tuesday, and I've been trying to clear that out ever since. I'm still getting into these coughing fits and stuff, so hard to kick that sometimes.
Jody said, not a sponsor, and then he said, that's funny. As soon as I commented that, an ad played.
Yeah, YouTube has a life of its own when it comes to those ads. Everything is set to as infrequent and as conservative as possible with all of that. So hopefully that's not too irritating to people.
Howard says you've been sick sick too on 180 days or less for Wonderfest. You're going to have to do a lot of work.
179.
And there we have it.
179 working days till Wonderfest. I know, it's ridiculous.
Blair says, can't rush perfection. He said, but yeah, Wonder Fest 26 is going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matthew was asking if it was the man flu.
Yeah, whatever that's considered, whatever that's classified as. So, all right. During the, I rushed during the introduction video to remove the paper off of here that I used just to protect the table. So part of it's just laying on the floor still back there. Because I wanted to be able to move this around a little bit on the desk, and the easiest way for me to move that to turn it around is to actually move the mat it's sitting on. So let's go to the desk. Let's try that again. Let's go to the desk cam and show you where she's at. So she's blue. The lights are really shining off of her right now. But she is blue. I need to have some serious more looks at the area back here. But we're gonna put the we're gonna check the blowaway panels to see if those deal with the issues that we have back there. Let's see if I can get this viewable on the camera. Okay, so there's a white patch back here. There was just an area where some additional putty work was needed. The nice thing is that the base coat is also a primer coat, and yeah, you can kind of see how the just it's a bit of a struggle with the pylon section back here, and so we're going to get the blowaway panels and see if that kind of deals with that. The other thing is the like I said, the Aztec paint scheme on this hides a ton of minor imperfections.
Gordon's asking a question. He says, hey, I have the AMT Enterprise D and Aztec decals. Do I remove the raised panel lines for a more accurate finish?
For a more accurate finish, yes. And what you can do is let me move this a little bit here. Just so that you can see this, and I'll move the camera down a little bit. This is the 1400 scale saucer, and I just need to pull up my camera controls here.
What's the next size down from that one?
The 2500.
Right.
That's the ones that Jody's been working with. So this is for an upcoming project once the 1400Es are off the bench, and yeah, so you've got all these raised panel lines here. Let me see if the camera will focus.
There you go.
All those lines, and so you can remove them in a couple of ways. You can do some bulk work with a. Let me just see if I have one. Usually have one kicking around here somewhere. And of course, the moment I need one, I can't find one.
Gordon says that's the one I have.
Yeah.
And Jody says there's a big difference between the 14 and the 2500.
Yeah. Yeah, just like there's a big difference between the 14 and the 650. I just bumped that. I don't want to be doing that. Anyway, I can't find my blades, but I can take one out of here temporarily. So these. So you can scrape down like this. That works pretty well to get lots of it off quickly. The other thing you can do is for more detailed stuff, you can take your chisel blade in your X-Acto blade holder, and you can actually go right in and strategically remove any panels that you want to.
I would say definitely got to come in at a low angle for that.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the two methods for getting rid of the detail. And whether you're using the decals or whether you're painting the Aztecs on, I would certainly recommend, not that you don't have to by any means, but I would certainly recommend that you go through the effort to remove that detail. It'll look so much better and more accurate when it's done.
So is light sanding not an option, or not a very good option?
It's a messy option.
Okay.
Definitely a messy option. So I'll be doing a combination of those two methods to remove that detail, and you need to do that on regardless of which kit it is that you're working with. Whether it's the clear kit, the opaque kit, or the milky white kit. I need to grab some water quick, so I will be right back, because the perfect plastic putty is cleaned off and sanded well with some water, so I'll be right back. I need to get what's it called? Stream Deck button for that, to go to that. Make it a little easier for me.
Jody says you'll want to sand the entire thing afterwards. Put some thick tape over the phaser and other details to preserve them.
If you're going to preserve the phasers, I would be using an aftermarket phaser array. And actually, I'm going to keep it on this shot here just so you can see where in here I'm cleaning this up, because I think you can see it better on that camera.
Oh, we can, yes.
There was just a spot where I missed getting some putty work done. It's just a bit of an awkward area to work as well. Certainly an awkward area to work on camera too.
And Ken's model shop is here. Hey, Ken.
How's it going? Welcome to the live stream.
Blair's asking me what I got on the bench. How's my F-14 turning out? I haven't gone back to that the really small F-14. I really haven't gone back to it since that paint peeled on the wing. I need to go back to it. It's just sitting up on the shelf above my bench. But right now I've been working on the Aztecing masks for the Reliant. I've been working on the nacelles for it. I've kind of got that all put on today. And just have to finish up masking any little seams in between or any of those areas that I'm not going to be spraying with the first coat. So that's what I've been working on my bench.
All right, so that's just been cleaned up. That little bit of putty work, nice and easy. Excuse me, nice and easy with the perfect plastic putty. And I'll turn this. Let me just go back to the dust cam here. And I'll turn this around like so. There we go. And I'm going to grab.
Howard says you need one of those tables you can raise and lower to work on it.
Yeah, my desk raises and lowers, but unfortunately the workbench I've got in the middle of my room doesn't, at least not automatically. But the advantage to the table this is on right now is it's on wheels, and I can move it around to work on all sides of it, which is going to make the painting of this a little bit easier, because I had to I had to work with the regular workbench on the first one. So this is where this is going to go. And you know what? It's covering the bulk of the issue as well as on that side. And what's left is going to be pretty much dealt with the Aztecs. So I'm not concerned with that. It's tough in that area because that's where the metal support goes, and it's really hard to get it leveled out properly. So
Ken's model shop says, I'm currently working on the engines on the Revell 1/600 scale Klingon battle cruiser. They are lit and looking awesome.
Good. Nice. All right, I'm going to take some measurements from the other D here. To get this placed properly. Here we go.
I was looking online and I saw that there's decals available for the Nebula class for that dish type fixture on top.
For what? Sorry?
For the Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've got that upgrade kit from Lake Monster Details.
So are you going to do a Nebula conversion?
Yeah, I'm going to do it as a Nebula conversion, and the only thing is I can't find masks for the dish part, so I guess I'm going to be going with decals for that.
Give me one moment. I'm just looking for my pencil. I need some time just to tidy up the shop, because finding stuff right now is a bit of a problem.
Blair says he was rooting through the Helios D he bought.
Yeah.
He said he didn't realize it came with a bridge and conference room 3D printed.
It doesn't. You must have gotten somebody's aftermarket parts along with it.
Lucky. And Ken's asking if you're drinking your tea.
I am drinking my tea. So I've got the first one marked. And I guess that one pretty good. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of sanding down of that primer so that we've got a good surface to put those blow-away panels, attach them to. And I'm looking for gloves. I'm looking for some sandpaper. And Here we go. My tea Earl Grey hot.
Alec is saying that tonight he's working on his Titanic and posted his first wall of the engine room, which he had glued into place.
Okay, very nice.
Good to hear some progress going on there.
Mm-hmm. If anybody can find the 3M, I can't even remember what it's called now. Anyway, it's the sandpaper with the almost like silicone flexible backing. That's good for wet and dry sanding. I cannot get that stuff anymore, and it's like the best thing ever.
Not a Canadian Tire.
That's where I got the first, that's where I got it, but they don't carry it anymore.
Oh.
It's literally some of the best stuff going. I've got one piece left. I've been making it last.
Have you done any online shopping trying to find some?
I've tried to find it everywhere I could try to find. And I have been unsuccessful, alas. I would have preferred to put these blow-away panels down before the base coat went on, but I was just worried about the area in the back there, and I wanted to make sure that everything was going to look okay. So now I'm in the situation where I'm removing some of that material, some of that paint.
Howard says, I'm spending money on Santa gifts, hoping I can send stuff to Canada by FedEx for the Christmas.
FedEx is pretty good.
Yep.
Our postal service isn't very good right now. They're still on rotating strikes.
Very true.
The only wild card is how they handle things at the border these days.
I did get my Excelsior saucer top, and it was in good shape.
Good. It's nice to know. Nice to hear. So now you have a complete kit, right?
Now I do, yes.
Good.
They don't include marking decals or anything?
Not that I've heard about yet. So I'll probably have to do the artwork and have them made. Right. I took my gloves off, and I probably shouldn't have taken my gloves off. I got distracted. Because I haven't done the work that I need to do with my gloves on yet. Streamer brain. It's a thing. I'm looking forward to the new Stargate coming out.
Yes.
I don't know what that's going to be like, but from everything that I've heard so far, it sounds like they're going about doing it the right way.
Yes, continuing on, not rebooting.
So not a reboot, a continuation of the story. Picking up. So it's been 14 years since Universe, and they're essentially picking up in the Stargate universe 14 years later. So I think that's a wise approach. I think I'm going to use different sandpaper for this.
Ken's model shop says, I have the 1/350 scale diecast Enterprise from Tomy coming next month. It looks awesome in diecast.
Yeah. Be curious to see just how they how it looks. Hopefully,
like the small details, like the hiding of seams, etc.
Yep. There's my little pieces of sandpaper.
Howard says, well, I'm sending a lot of things out hopefully next week or week after, probably all by FedEx. If you get something from me, you better save it till Christmas stream. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I got to send out to you, Howard. Let's see here. Then he continues on. I would like to hope that they might hear about the Stargate universe ship people that kind of left them in limbo.
Yeah, I think that would be a hard one to pick up on, just because of how long it's been, and because you'd have to get those actors back.
Yes, and some of them have done really well in their careers. Might be a little bit more pricey to get them, or just timings to get them. Ken's Model Shop says, I agree. Blair said, Tommy equals not convinced till I see my A firsthand. I hope it's not a letdown. And Jody says, whoa, subspace turbulence.
The shaking of the ship as I'm standing, I'm assuming, is what he's referring to.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It might be. Blair says, or refit. I can't remember. So you can't remember if it's a or a refit from Tommy. Yeah, Ken's Model Shop is also saying that he also has the TOS 1350 scale die cast from Tommy. I remember seeing photos of that TOS from Tommy. It looked okay. Howard says, we'll see. I'm going to have it with my name on it, so it could be Secret Santa or not. Well, usually when you ship stuff too, you could just have it say, like persons to so-and-so, and then the business name being HDM Christmas or something like that. Howard said, she's shaking apart, Captain. It's all I can do to keep the shields from buckling. Todd says the Tommy is not the A. Blair wants to know what people think of the Tommy Productions ones, if they have them. Todd's saying it's just the motion picture version that's coming out. And Todd still has his Tommy TOS one in a box.
I've moved to scraping it off.
More success that way?
Yep.
Yes, Howard is saying, though, it may be People will figure it out when it says it's from Michigan.
That's when having things drop shipped directly from retailers is helpful.
Yeah. That's what I did with my Secret Santa gift I sent out.
Because for those of us in a different country, the moment you see that it's coming through customs, it's kind of gives it away, right?
Yep. Ken's model shop says his is still in the box. It's the 350 one from Enterprise from Tomy. Howard's excited. On Tuesday, he's supposed to get his Hasbro Ghostbusters car.
It's not arriving till Tuesday. And if anybody's wondering why I'm doing this, I just want a better surface for the blow-away panels to adhere to. Adhering directly to this this satin French blue paint would not be a good idea.
Nah, probably not as effective.
For a little greeble part, wouldn't be a big deal, but this thing is kind of a bit spring loaded.
Yeah, you don't need part of it popping up or anything.
Yeah. And we are less than a month away from Christmas now, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Howard's going to ask you, I guess, why you didn't mask it before painting.
Well, the reason was that I was concerned about how the surface would look, and so I really wanted, before I put the blow-away panels on, because I wasn't sure whether the blow-away panels would cover and deal properly with some of the imperfections on the surface of the pylons due to running the metal support through it, and that just broke.
Ooh.
So I would have preferred to put it on beforehand, but just the nature of what this particular kit is doing to me, this is kind of the route we've ended up with. Oh.
Howard said, ooh, almost into the eyes.
Fortunately, no. But I am coming at it from a different angle on this particular area here, so I don't get that happening again.
Blair says, but here's the real question, Andrew. At what point do you say which model is going where?
When the decals go on.
Yes, we're having two different named ships coming up here.
It's all in the fun until the decals go on. And they get christened with their name.
Blur's asking what the other name is.
It's called the Userful. Bit of an odd name, but it's actually the name of a company. There we go.
And Howard says, I noticed he has gaffer's tape to know where to stand in his shop for video.
Yeah, I've got different types, different gaffer tape in different spots for different configurations of this space. For when I'm filming edited content and doing my intros and outros.
Howard says, but the question will be, can you tell them apart once you get the painted Aztecs done?
I will be able to tell them apart. I don't know how many other people will be able to tell them apart. It's like parents can always tell apart twins. They're technically the same kit, but they've each had their own unique issues, right? So I will always be able to tell which one is which from now till the end of eternity. Of course, how I can tell, well, that's for me to know.
It's the little things. And Howard wants to know, do you sign your work somewhere in the model?
It is, they are identified, the builder is identified in the inside of the model, yes, and hopefully nobody ever goes in there. The hope is that nobody ever goes in there.
Yes. Alec is asking, so Andrew, have you ever had a streaming light have a plug that started to fail?
A streaming light
have
a plug that started to fail. I'm not sure what he means. Do you know what he means?
I'm going to guess that he means like a light somewhere inside the ship, maybe.
Well, I had a client on the 1400E back when I was using the Tenna controls. The model had been set up for 9 volts, and the power supply provided was 9 volts. The client lost his 9-volt power supply and thought it would be okay to replace it with a 12-volt power supply.
Whoops.
And then he proceeded to leave it running for exceptionally long periods of time. Which, leaving it running for long periods of time is not an issue if it's under the right powered conditions. Like, these things will run beautifully for extended periods of time because they're just on 5 volts, right? It's 5 volts USB, but that's not the case with the 9 volt. And especially if you're running 12 volts through it. And he ended up burning out the LEDs inside. It just was never meant to be run on 12 volts, and never intended to be run on 12 volts for that amount of time. It would handle it for short bursts if it was accidentally plugged into 12 volts, but was never engineered to be run indefinitely on 12 volts. So I don't know if that's what he meant, but
Steve Martin says identify them by their warp signatures.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that potentially.
Good evening, Steve.
Welcome to the stream. All right, we're going to attach the first one, and then we're going to move on to clearing the paint off of the second location. The goal, the stretch goal would be that I'm starting to Aztec it this week. Barring that, certainly by the next week when I'm off for the week.
Alex says I'm asking about a streaming light like a UV size light.
So like for film, like for like a studio light for doing live streams. Because I've never had a studio light. I've never had an issue with a studio light, if that's what he's asking.
Trent says, did your loft cat chew on your wires, Alec?
So where the blow-away panel is looks really janky right now, but don't worry, that's gonna look much better once the panel is on, and the paint is back on as well. So. You can't see it because I'm doing it at my desk here, but I'm just preparing a little bit of epoxy so I can secure the blow-away panel to the pylon.
Oh, Alec is saying his almost 1-year-old light is starting to flicker and fail to draw power to stay on, and is picky about how I have to plug it. How my plug could go in.
What kind of a light is it, Alec? Like I'm assuming it's LED of some sort, or maybe compact fluorescent. I mean, I don't want to assume, but that's kind of what I would assume it would be. I guess I could do this over there, but still you wouldn't be able to see it, probably. Could always lower the camera. There we go. There's a little bit of work. Oh!
Still good.
There's a little bit of workspace that you can see.
He says it's a UB size 10-inch LED light.
It's probably more a problem with the electrical it's plugged into than it is with the actual unit itself.
It could depend where it was made to. Could be, made of super cheap materials, and
that's true.
Something else inside it, not necessarily the LEDs themselves, is going.
What surprises me when it comes to LEDs is household LED bulbs that you would use in your standard lighting fixtures, which should last an incredibly long amount of time, so often don't. It's almost like they're part of the light bulb conspiracy.
Yes. Where they say how long each light bulb is supposed to last.
Because there's that whole conspiracy that the light bulb companies have gotten together and made it so that they can only last for so long.
Yep.
So that they don't lose their profits. I don't know if there's anything in that or not, but that's what the internet likes to rumor about. Of course, we know everything you hear on the internet's accurate, right?
Well, that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm. You must have heard that on the... Did you hear that on the internet?
Well, yeah, where else would I hear it?
Yeah. Must be correct.
Yeah, there you go, Alec. That's a good idea. He says, I mean, the end that goes directly into the light is where it's failing. I'll look at posting is what's going on in Discord under the text section.
That's a good idea.
Someone there can tell you more directly what's going on.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, and it's hard to know without knowing the specifics of it.
Very true.
All right. So that's on there. It's in place. I'm going to do a little bit of epoxy cleanup on the edge because you always get a little bit of epoxy seepage. The front actually looks pretty good. Now, I haven't done a full, like a good solid base coat on this. There's some areas that need a little bit more, but my goal was just to get the base color down so I could make sure everything looked okay and to see if there was any areas that really needed more attention. Because as much as the gray does reveal things to you, the true test is once the base coat is down. So, and I'm going to have to go over once the base coat is fully down. I'm going to have to go over it all with a what's it called? It's not a sanding cloth, a polishing cloth.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say a tack cloth.
Yeah, no, like a polishing cloth.
Yeah.
And go over the whole thing just to make sure that the surface is exactly how I want it. I need to be a little more careful right up close to the seam here because there's a fair bit of putty underneath. And I want to make sure that I'm not damaging the putty work. Because if I damage the putty work, then that's additional time to repair that.
Well, I hope everyone, every one of the viewers here who live in the United States had a great Thanksgiving this week.
We had a great Thanksgiving a month ago.
Yes.
Yeah, no turkey in our house this weekend. Actually, we've got a pretty good deal when it comes to turkeys for Thanksgiving. So the realtor we used when we bought our house, every year at Thanksgiving, he gives all of his clients a free fresh turkey.
Nice.
So he'll send in the mail a voucher and time and location to pick it up. And it's his way to stay connected with his clients. Because he figures that if he stays connected, then down the road, if you want to sell your house or
You'll
upgrade
think of
and buy a
him.
new one or whatever, you'll use him as your realtor, right?
That's right.
Or maybe recommend him to friends and family and stuff. So it's his way of maintaining connection with his customers. Now, I can't eat turkey. It does terrible things to my stomach. So I usually end up barbecuing a steak or something on Thanksgiving. So everybody else is having turkey and I do like a steak. But I mean, I still have to make the turkey. Can't eat it, but I have to make it. Because we also usually have like both sets of grandparents here, because it's our daughter's birthday around Thanksgiving. So we do her birthday and Thanksgiving all at the same time. So, and they're usually decent size fresh turkeys. So we always have enough food for everybody, which is nice.
Yeah, that's usually the case. I mean, usually you're getting a good size meal out of a turkey. So Alec is saying that he did post it in chat there.
Okay, so somebody that knows more about that kind of stuff than I do can have a look at it and hopefully give him some technical support on it. It's always good when a community comes together.
It sure is. And he also wants us to know that he's not an alien.
So were you seeing what Jody was working on tonight?
I did not.
So he's got a little tiny ship. He's scratch built, obviously, using kit bash parts from an Excelsior kit,
right,
from one of the small Excelsior kits. And so he drew out a ship design and then started to build it. Now the build he's doing, and I mean Jody can clarify if he's still in the chat, but the build he's doing, he's taken some liberties from his drawn design, because obviously he's working with certain parts and stuff like that. So like the nacelles are different and there's some different shapes and stuff going on from the picture. But what he's building looks really cool, but I'd love to see like a 3D rendering of the ship that he drew, because I really like the ship that he drew.
Oh, Jody's artwork is amazing. If it's the same one he's been working on for a few weeks, then I am familiar with it. But I didn't see his stream tonight.
Yeah, it gives me some. It almost gives me some Luna class vibes, but it's got some very distinct features. But yeah, like, so he's doing what he can do with the parts he's got for the physical model, but I'd love to see a 3D rendering that's like actually like really true to his drawing, because I think that looks really good. Not saying his shit, like the one he's building, doesn't look good. I'm just saying I really like the drawing,
right,
that he's done. Jody needs to partner with like somebody who's really good at 3D design. So he draws the designs and then somebody does a full 3D rendering of it, and then we can have it printed. And he can work with the prints to bring his imaginations to life.
Oh, that would be phenomenal to see that. So if anybody in the audience has those skills, feel free to reach out to Jody.
Too bad, like, he can't be like Secret Santa and a subscription to a 3D design service or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know if such a thing exists.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably people out there who offer that service. Sounds like a job for Google.
You made Google sound like a superhero there.
Oh, that was kind of the idea.
Have I ever told you my Google story?
I don't believe so.
So I'm part of a chain of people that have a significant influence on Google's initial success.
Okay.
So I can't remember what year Google started, but it was shortly before I started university. So I think they might have started like 98 or something like that. And I started university in 99. And so I'd never heard of Google before as far as a search engine. I'd been more familiar with like web crawler or Yahoo search. And I don't know if you remember, but back then it was infuriating to use a search engine.
Yes.
Because they didn't really ever bring back useful search results. And our school, like our head librarian for the school, introduced a bunch of us to Google. She'd been using it and really liked it and how it brought back useful results. And so she shared it with all the students, me being one of them. And so I started using it. I'm just going to grab myself some more tea, Earl Grey hot here while I talk. So she passed that on to all the students, including me, and I started using it. And it was the first search engine I'd ever used that seemed to actually bring back good results. I've got bits of model on my shirt, it looks like. So I went back home, and at the time, my dad was working for, it was either Compaq still at the time or HP. HP bought out Compaq. And he was working with the tech support call centers in Ottawa. And I introduced him to Google. And he tried using it and was super impressed with it because it actually brought back search results that were useful. And because he liked it, he started introducing it to all the technicians at Compaq HP. And they all started using it and liked it because it brought back search results that were useful. And then they started to use it as their test web page for people. And like who would call in for tech support, and they'd be doing a test on internet or whatever. And so they started using it with all their customers, and it just went from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like, man, I wish I had some financial compensation for that. It's amazing what you just don't know is going to happen based on things that you're doing, right? And I mean, that's not the only thing that pushed Google, but it was a significant enough assistance to its proliferation that it's a noteworthy story to tell, right?
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome.
Also, my dad almost made a contribution to Canadian history.
Oh?
He came about that close to making a contribution to Canadian history when he was working in Ottawa as well. And we'd been in a car accident in '95, and he lost about 23 years of memory during the accident.
Oh,
so
no.
He had been doing woodwork for years, and so with the 23 years of memory loss was 23 years of experience loss, and it was his business. And so to get back up and working quickly, he went back to school for computer sciences and stuff. So when he was doing his kind of like job placement from the course, he was working in Sheila Copps' office.
Okay.
She was a not just an MP. She was from Hamilton, I think, but for her for the ministry that she was running, because she was a cabinet minister. And so he was in the downtown area, and I think her office was across the river in Hull. And so he had to drive Rideau Street every day, and he was driving Rideau Street, and this guy steps out in front of him, and my dad comes like this close to hitting the guy. And the guy's like, oh, and waves, and then just walks off. And he's like, that guy looks familiar, but he didn't really clue into anything. So during that night, my parents were watching the Ottawa news, and this guy appears on the news. And my dad says to my mom, that's the guy I almost ran over today. And she's like, you almost ran over a former prime minister of this country. He almost ran over Joe Clark.
Oh, jeez. That would not be a good claim to fame.
So just interesting stories. He once got a phone call from somebody whose name was and sounded like the Bill Clinton. And then in September 2001, he got a phone call from somebody, and they had sent their computer in for repair or service or something, and they didn't hear anything, and they were kind of wondering where things were at. So my dad did a trace on the computer, and it came back. His last location was in a delivery truck parked outside of the World Trade Center on September 11th.
Oh, jeez.
Interesting stories. Anyway, a little bit more tea in my cup, and we'll get a little bit of sanding down on that other side. How are the comments coming?
Pretty good. Just the last three have just been about Alec and him being an alien.
Nute gross, lean. Nukta o kushpa e. Different language. That's the extent of my knowledge of Klingon. What is your destination? Over, and where's the washroom? All right.
Howard says, really? Klingon?
It's the only alien language I have
can
knowledge
you give us the camera angle?
Oh, thank you. Sorry, wrong camera is just a service I provide. Oh, that's right, because I did have it on the wrong view, didn't I?
Yes.
So just sanding it down a bit to take some of the roughness off from having to scrape the paint off. But some of the roughness on this section is actually beneficial for the adhesion of the part. So it's a bit of a fine line between sanding too much just to take, or sanding it enough just to take some of the rough edges off, and sanding it too much where it won't adhere. But it's looking good. I'll give it a shot of air. And we'll get this other bit down. And of course, the previous epoxy is setting up, so we'll get a fresh piece of plastic core and some fresh epoxy out.
Howard has a little bit of trivia about the movie The Fifth Element. He says the guy who wrote it and created that language that Lilu used, they had enough for basic dialect, and people have tried to recreate it, but haven't been able to.
Well, if they only made enough for some basic dialect, then people would have to kind of fill in the blanks. And then you're just kind of essentially creating the language at that point.
Which is something that Scotty helped to do with the Klingon language. Or at least the actor. I guess James Doohan had a bit of a ability for languages.
Yeah. Interesting. A Canadian playing a Scotsman on an American TV show.
And I believe the original Vulcan language they used in the motion picture was a Native American language as well.
Well, my understanding was they thought it would be the Vulcan language that would kind of be the big thing. That's why you had so much of it in like Star Trek 2 as well.
Right.
But turned out that it was the Klingon language that people were more interested in. And of course, then they brought out the Klingon dictionary.
Yes.
And then Michael Dorn voiced the
audio version.
The conversational Klingon audio cassette. A friend of mine had that, which is the only reason why I know where's the washroom. It's just stuck with me all these years. I missed my opportunity to use it.
I believe I had that cassette as well. And I remember Michael Dorn saying on there that Klingons were never maybe inaccurate, but they were never, but basically they would never estimate. Oh, no, sorry. They may be inaccurate, but they're never approximate.
I came really close to using the Nukta Okushpa to ask where the washroom was at Wonderland. Back when they had the it was Paramount Canada's Wonderland.
Yep.
And they had Klingons and Vulcans and Romulans and Ferengi walking around.
And Howard has put up some Klingon for you to read.
Oh, yeah? Is it Hamlet in the original Klingon?
I don't know.
Well, I can have a look at it in a minute. I'm just about to lay down a piece of resin. Oh, I know that Tratnang is human. And never call Klingon a Patach. All right. I'm not sure why Lou had some issues getting those sat down properly on the curve.
He says he also provides another version. He says it is a better version. It looks like it's almost referencing Alec.
There we go. Blow away panels are installed.
In place. Right on.
Hajnov Gah Alak. Is that it? Did I pronounce it right? Hajnov Gah? I'm guessing. Who knows?
Alec saying he's nearly done with the front part of his DC-15's blaster print.
Uh-huh.
Got a long way to go on the main barrel, though. And then he says, why do I feel that was about me? Well, there's a song.
It's been a long road.
There you go. Yes, Alec is an alien. Yeah, Trent said, let me translate. Alec is an alien.
Rotate. 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 There's a saucer.
Nice, nice.
All right. And we're going to take up the phaser array.
That'll look better.
Because it's got to come off before the Aztecing goes on.
Well, it is kind of a reference point, is it not?
Yeah. Which is exactly why it needs to come off. All right, I just needed to go check something. I'll be right back.
Certainly. You still have a bit more tape there to remove, though.
Yep. You can just talk amongst yourselves.
Guys, did you see that tape he left on there? Why would he do that? That's just so weird. So, Howard, a little bit of crossover between Monty Python and the Klingons. Yeah, it is. It is nice how you can see those mashed windows now at that angle. Earlier on, you couldn't see them at all.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear the sound effects?
Yeah, I just heard the phaser go off.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I can't hear them, so. All right. Some of the tape sticks really well to that poured in resin. I'm curious to see how because they've changed the whole phaser array design for the version 2.
Right.
So I'm curious to see how that works. They've ditched the LED holes and gone to the same method that I've used for the phasers as their built-in recommended approach. So there we go. Yeah, so the phasers give me reference points for installing the for laying down the masking.
And Howard's commenting that it's nice to see the masked windows.
Oh, you can see the masked windows?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
That's good.
So Howard's saying, so it might be better or a whole new mess of issues for version 2.
Well, I'm pretty sure they've built version 2 themselves this time. So this is just the polishing cloth. Sometimes when you're spraying the paint, you can get a little bit of roughness on it, depending on what's going on. Oh.
Started losing a mask there.
Yeah.
You still have some spares kicking around?
Oh, lots of spares.
And who do you get your Aztec masks from for this kit?
From Wayne at Motion Picture Miniatures.
Okay.
I think the top saucer is in pretty good shape for Aztecing.
That'll be good to see.
Yep. I just had a thought of something I should do to prepare for it, but do you think I can remember now? Oh, there was a little bit of something stuck on there, so I'm going to just need to touch that up. That won't take too much. Let's see. There was something I was going to do, and then I forgot and remembered. And oh yes,
put on the phasers.
No, the phasers will go on after all the Aztecing is done.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a pain masking them off otherwise. What I need is a sheet of masks that I should have somewhere. Just gonna look through my pile of masks and see if I can find it here. Aha! I think I have found them. And I need to put some masks on this thing, because I forgot to do this part. Have ship will travel. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back the other way. So what I'm going to do is I have to use Windows as a reference here. 22112211. Remember that. 22112211. Right there. And closer to the 2. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see these. 22112211. These are the teeny tiny greebles.
Ah.
And I may have to cut some more.
Do you want to show it to the camera?
I don't know if you're going to be able to see.
Yeah.
They're the really tiny greebles that are all over this thing. Let's see if I have another set of them over here. And they just sit on, they just go on. I have a whole bunch of one type. Yeah, I may have to cut a new sheet, but I do have a few here that I can lay on tonight on camera. So they're very tiny. Custom done on my vinyl cutter. Getting the little center bits out is fun. And I typically double them up for thickness. So I'm just going to check. This is the same thing I used. Yep. So what did I say? 2211, 2211. And it goes right here. Can you see where I'm placing that down?
Just barely. Your face cam is kind of in the way a bit. It was just below your face cam, though.
Let's see if I can do something about that.
But yeah, we can see the little white spot you put there.
Let's see if I can get a better view of it for you.
All right. Howard says, did you see the Kickstarter funding for Doug Drexler? Hoping it will be a good reference for my NX01 build.
I haven't seen anything. What's he doing?
Well, I'm not too sure. Howard's asking if we saw it.
Okay, let's see if this will work. It's not automatically picking it up. So that tells me that it's been long enough that my link doesn't work anymore.
He says, go on Discord. You'd see the backer program. Jordan backed it too.
Yeah. I have not been on Discord very much. Ah, success.
There we go.
That's what it is.
Wow. And you got a lot of those to put on.
Yeah. So if I go across the shop to this, you'll see how there's like one there.
Yeah.
That's the one that we're doing right now.
Right.
And they're all over the studio model. So I scoured the studio model looking for all these so that I could try to reproduce them as best I could. And this is the mask sheet I'm pulling them from. Again, all just designed in Silhouette Studio and cut on my cutter. So, yep. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a better view. Let's see, we still got 17 people here. Wow. 17 people watching me put little tiny things on. That's amazing.
Dennis is here. He's asking, which is, by the way, nice logo. He says, do you know if there are any Enterprise G kits?
Horner Shipyards makes them. They make them in 1400 scale, and they have done some in 1000 scale, but it seems like you kind of have to be special to get those. So I'm not sure if they're available to the general public. like the larger ones. But that's where you would go, Horner Shipyards.
And do you know where they're out of?
They're out of the U.S.
Okay.
So, I mean, something that could be a little more difficult, challenging for us to get at the moment, but for our friends who live south of the border, shouldn't be too much of an issue.
And Cosmic Quest Hobbies is here. He says, hey, all.
Welcome.
And he says, hey, Andrew, what is your mask material of choice? I have a silhouette as well and have been looking for some good mask material.
Well, vinyl, but I'm assuming that's a given. Really, it depends on what exactly you're doing, what your purpose is. I will use the I'll use the Oracle 631 for window masks. And if I need a white version of that for because there's just times when you need them in white, I'll use the Oracle 631 white. I use the white for the rim windows because I painted the edge of the saucer black first, and then just so that I could see the masks I was putting on, I did it in the white, and then I've got this stuff, which is a fresh roll I haven't opened yet, but it is it's the same stuff that Motion Picture Miniatures is using for their masks. You'd have to ask me again when I could grab what that is. Or let's see if I can just open it here. Okay, so this is Aura Mask 810. And the nice thing about this is great for Aztecs because you can actually see through it. It's a bit transparent, which really helps with the placement of the masks.
He says, will do, thank you.
So yeah, so it just all depends on what type of masking you're doing, really. All right, so that's the first one down. And then just so there's batches of 2 above the thruster. Let's see if I can find that location. Thruster, batches of 2, and we're going right in there.
Christopher Dahl is here.
Hello.
He says he'd love to take a crack at this model sometime. Have fun.
Yeah. So what did I use for that part? I had to cut a mask in half, I think. So let's get the teeny tiny scissors. And I'm going to have to move the camera. And I should have another pair of, second pair of tweezers is important. And I'll try to show you what's going on. There's a full-size mask that I'm going to have to cut in half. We'll see if this has come out properly. I don't think I'm going to be able to double this one up. I tend to double them up for thickness, just so that they're thick enough to be seen. So I know this is off camera. I can't really do this little thing on camera here.
Yeah, it's okay. It's one of those things.
Just cleaning up the mask, getting it ready to go on. So this was a 2x3 pattern. And it had to be cut in half.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can't say Andrew doesn't have attention to detail.
Ha. Now, if I can find the other half of it, which should still be attached to the scissors. I don't think there's enough of it to double it up. So I'm going to try to double it up. Cutting it exactly in half is the tricky bit. But I think I got it to look pretty close to the one that's already down there. Can you see the one that's down?
We can.
So this is the other thing I have to do before I can go move on to the Aztecing. So I'll lay these down, and then they'll get a quick shot of paint to seal them in and make sure that they start out at least base color. So we're just doubling up the layers here. There we go. This is just a process I kind of have to repeat all the way around. But yeah, you can actually kind of see that.
Yep, we can.
That's as close as I can get. So there, it's like a rectangle with holes in it. And the one I put down before is a 2x1.
Right.
This piece here was a 2 wide by 3 long that I cut in half because it's got the open holes here. So they're just various different shapes, sizes, configurations all over the hull of the ship, which is something you don't notice at first until you do a deep dive into a look at the studio model, and you get all those little tiny greebles. So,
did you find a lot of these due to like Todd's photographs?
A combination of looking through Todd's photographs and looking through the Christie's auction photographs. Basically, any good shot of the ship that I could get my hands on. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. But it is getting close. It is 10 to 11, and I'm going to end the stream here, I think. 10 minutes early, but I'm still getting my energy back after being sick. So I think I'm going to call it a night here, if that's okay with everybody. I mean, I guess even if it's not okay with everybody, I'm still going to call it.
That's still what's happening.
So, so that's where we're at. We've got base color on. There's still some fine adjustments that have to be made, and I'm going to give the whole ship a good look over just to make sure that I'm happy enough with everything before I start the Aztecing. And I'll do that as I'm putting those little tiny greeblies on. And then next week or the week after, at the very latest, we're going to be getting the Aztecs down on this one. So things will move along quickly at that point, and we will have some finished ships here very soon. So looking forward to that. So I hope everybody had a great time with the live stream. If you've enjoyed the live stream, make sure that you hit the like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. You'll make me very happy if you do. We never did see Jordan here tonight. He said he might be popping by, but life must have been gotten busy for him. But maybe another time. So hope you've enjoyed it, and have a great night, everyone. We will see you again here next week, same time, same station, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Have a great night, everyone.